Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode at Sideline Chatter. Today, the theme for today's episode is the review of the fourth test between India and England at Manchester. On our panel today are two dear friends of mine, Samir Joshi, who is an ardent cricket fan, an ardent sports person, I would say, and a very keen observer of cricket and a very keen critic of cricket. And the other person on our panel is another dear friend of mine, Chinmay Diwan, who's also an ace sportsman, an ace athlete, and he is also a keen observer and a lover of the game of cricket. So, hi guys, and welcome to the show.
Hi Nandan, hi
And thank you
Chinmay.
for being here, first of all.
Hi Nandan, hi Samir. Thanks for
Thank
having me, Nandan.
So, yeah, great having you guys. I'm sure both of you watched the match yesterday,
Absolutely.
the whole 5 days, and what a gritty performance by India in the end.
Oh, stunning,
But
stunning.
let's get to, let's dive into the controversy right at the start. What do you think about what happened in the last 15 minutes of the game? Like after Ben Stokes offered for the draw and Jadeja and Washington refused it, and then all the drama that happened afterwards. What do you guys think?
Did you see Washington? He completely ignored who was it? I think Crawley,
Yeah,
who
yeah,
came to
No,
do a
I think it
second
was
with him.
Brook.
He
It was
completely
Brook.
ignored him.
yeah, it was Brook, correct. Yeah, he
It's
completely,
Brooks.
yeah, just walked past him.
I want to have a century. That
Correct.
was
And I
his
think he was
main thing.
absolutely right. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
see why Ben Stokes got all worked up. Probably he wanted to save his bowlers, is what a lot of even in the English experts are saying. So I think even Gautam Gambhir said a very valid point in his press conference where he said that if a few of the English batsmen were batting on those scores, would they have given up? I think that's a valid point. So I think. Yeah, I think too much is being made into it. They played awesome. They deserve the century, and they just did that. It's great. They went ahead, got the 100, and they truly deserved it.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
think it was like baseball. It was like a loss for baseball game. So I think
Yeah,
England were being sore losers. That's what
oh,
I
completely, completely. And I
saw
think
from Ben Stokes' face.
what hurt them was that this was probably also only the second draw once the baseball thing started. So yeah, I'm sure it must have hurt them real bad. And some of the comments I think some of the players made also just proved it. People come in saying, "Do you want to score a century against Harry Brooks?" I mean, we never asked them to bowl Harry Brooks. They could have easily bowled Cars. Ben Stokes could have bowled himself, which he did when, even though he had a shoulder issue, I think, and he kept pointing at the shoulder when he was bowling. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's not like we asked them to bowl Harry Brooks or Joe Root.
Yeah,
Uh, At the end, a century is a century. I mean, you have 10 players who can bowl,
Correct.
excluding the wicketkeeper. So if it is against Harry Brook, it is against Harry Brook. Who cares?
Yeah,
It's my
exactly.
century.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah, and a test century is a test century. I mean, uh, maybe too much is being made about the spirit of cricket and all of that. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
but
don't
yeah,
think there's a.
But I think he would approach the Indian batters for a draw. I mean, but the fact that he bowled Harry Brook later
mm,
suggested that he is becoming a really, a sore kind of a loser.
Correct. Absolutely.
yeah. I think I liked what Manjrekar said. It's a difference of culture, and probably England got a dose of the Indian culture. We are India, and cricket is a numbers game, and Indian a test century is a test century. We are fond of our stats as well, so nothing wrong or right in it.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think for
so
once somebody has liked what Manjrekar said.
That's exactly what I was going to say right now.
maybe for once he said something that was, that struck a chord with everybody.
Yeah, I think we should credit Manjrekar for his bits and pieces remark on Jadeja because that really got
Yeah.
Jadeja firing, and I think he's just notched up his level completely after that remark. I mean, he's been incredible for Indian cricket. Classic all-rounder.
Absolutely.
amazing stuff. I mean, the way he has shouldered, in fact, in all the tests, he's made some very crucial knocks, gritty innings. So yeah, thanks to Manjrekar for that comment.
Yeah, I think almost all the innings in this Test series he scored a 50,
Yeah.
barring one or two, I think. And to, play like not out 50, 60 runs, six down,
Mm.
five down, six down is a big achievement.
Jadeja has been a real sturdy and like a rock in that lower middle order. I think just the first Test match where we really had a collapse after
Yeah.
we were five down or six down, and that really hurt us. But other than that, I think Jadeja has been really a rock solid performer. Rock
Yeah.
star,
Yeah.
anyway,
Absolutely.
is what he's called. And
Absolutely.
unfortunate that he couldn't help us cross the line at Lords.
Oh, that was really unfortunate. I mean, it's so close yet so far kind of situation.
Yeah, he's getting better with age also, right? Every single match is improving, I think. And he's not even looking 36 or what, 37 years old.
Yeah, I think 35, 36.
Yeah, I
But
guess
yeah,
so.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
Yeah, I
he's
think
really
he's,
matured with age. But I was just reading today. I remember like Dhoni had made a statement. I think sometime in the early 2010s when he was just introduced into the Indian cricket team that don't write Jadeja off so soon. In the end,
Mm.
he's going to turn out to be the all-rounder that India really needs. And
yeah,
I think the numbers are just there to say.
yeah.
I
Probably in
think.
English condition, but the bowling is not as lethal for
Mm.
Jadeja,
Yeah.
but the batting is compensating it because the
Yeah, I
pitches are
think
also
for
not
him.
turning iron. So
But the
Yeah,
good
yeah.
part is he still keeps it very tidy. He doesn't really give away too
yeah,
many runs. So it does maintain the pressure. So
Hmm.
that's also a very important factor we shouldn't forget.
Yeah, and I think he's also
yeah,
playing at number six, right? So it's more like a batting all-rounder position than a bowling all-rounder position for him.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
like his batting is more crucial anyway at that number for India. So I think all in all,
yeah,
he's doing a good job. I would like to get your opinions on, a very crucial moment probably in the Test match. In hindsight, could end up being a crucial moment in the series, and that is the injury to
Pant.
Pant.
Yeah.
I mean, it was eventful
yeah,
as it is, as the whole, the injury, then coming back the next day to score that 50, those, 17 odd runs. But like, I guess he will be missed in at the Oval. He has a good record at the Oval as well. So, what I would like to get your opinion on is not just the Pant injury, but
Mm.
also the debate around that related to injury subs. And should they be a part of the game, or
Mm.
is there a tweak in the rules that could be made because we already
Mm.
have something for concussions? So, I would
Mm.
like to get your opinions one by one. I'll start with Chinmay and then Samir.
yeah. First of all, what a way to have that injury, reverse sweeping, a fast bowler getting hit on the toe. I mean, it was very unfortunate, but Pant is like a very crucial member of our team. So anything happening to Pant is a big blow to us actually. So I think he showed a lot of determination, a lot of grit coming back. Even I think he scored 20 odd runs after the injury
Mm.
coming back. Those are also, you can say, crucial in getting us past 350, I think, right? In
Yeah.
the first
Yes.
innings. So it just shows like the team spirit, I think, currently, because under Shubman, this new team coming up, showing this kind of grit and determination, that's a big thing. I think it will carry on in the Oval Test also now. I think Dhruv Jurel will come up and try to fill in his shoes, at least for the batting aspect. Yeah, and I think injury sub, I don't know. I mean, I think there should be a swap, direct swap, like a substitute, how we have in football. If Pant is not the any player is not playing properly, I mean, or is injured, he should get a substitute, I think. Even for bowlers, I think that should be there. So that's my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of loopholes, in terms of
Mm.
getting a sub for injuries, and I would like to get Samir's opinion on that because the rules are made to sort of cover those loopholes. So, Samir, like on to you. What do you have to say about the whole injury sub issue?
Yeah, I think I will slightly disagree here on Chinmay's views with respect to having the injury sub. And again, watching Ben Stokes' press conference, I think he makes a valid point, where if a bowler is, getting tired, and you just go tell him, go get an MRI, and the MRI says, oh, yes, there is an inflammation. So now I'm going to get a fresh bowler to bowl. And
Yeah.
that exactly the loopholes that Nandan is talking about, that is something that can be manipulated, and with today's changing scenarios of the game and how it is being played, these things will come up very easily. And I'm sure teams like Australia or England, they will be the first to take advantage of such things. So, yeah, I mean, agreed that a team loses a very crucial player with such freak injuries. But I think we also need to understand it's part and parcel of the game. The players know that it's part and parcel of the game. With respect to the concussion sub, I think it's more valid because it is with respect to player safety, especially with certain incidences that took place which are very unfortunate.
Hmm.
So concussion sub is something which I think makes more sense because it is with respect to player safety, where you don't want unfortunate instances to take place just because he couldn't get the right medical treatment. But with injuries, I think it's going to be a little tough to manage, prove that okay, this player is really not fit enough to play. So yeah, I don't think we should be talking much about injury substitutes and getting that into picture, because I think it'll just change the game entirely.
Yeah, I agree with you, Samir. I mean, like I think what Stokes said in the press conference, you pick your 11, you stick to your 11. If you have an injury, the rules permit you to have a fielder on
Correct.
ground just to make up for that loss. But I think other than that, a lot of loopholes are there.
Yeah.
I think Michael Vaughan had. I think Michael Vaughan was someone who said that you could have something for the first innings and then not for the second innings. But again, it's
Mm.
a lot of conjecture there in terms of how to plan for it because it's a very
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, tricky situation.
I mean, like this game, if we would have been nine down or something,
Mm.
and it would have been the last hour of play, and Pant was not able to come to bat, that would directly impact the game, right? We would have lost. And if Pant would have been there, at least we would have tried for a draw,
Yeah, but I
maybe.
think it's
That's that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
mean that's
think.
the other side of the argument, but it's a fair thing
Yeah.
because it's you're playing the game with 11 players and. Because I remember someone else also speaking on the fact that the IPL has like the impact sub,
Mm.
and why can't we have something like that for Test cricket or ODI cricket? And I guess one of the reasons is that like the IPL impact sub is for entertainment more than like it's
Yeah.
also it adds to that entertainment value in terms of T20. So along with some strategy, but yeah.
I
Um,
think another reason why they could have got the impact sub in IPL is because you have a larger pool where you want players to
Mhm.
actually get to play the game, not just warm the benches. With respect to test match cricket, I think it's pretty clear. You have set of 15 players and each player knows its role, that, okay, I
yeah.
may get just one game, and that too if somebody gets injured or if somebody is really out of form. But with respect to IPL and the impact sub, I think it's also it gives a chance to the team to not just make the player sit on the bench, but also get a
Mhm.
chance to go and show his skill set, get an experience, especially with respect to the younger players. So two different outlooks, two different formats. So I don't think it will be ideal to compare them.
Yeah, and like Test cricket is played over
Hmm.
5 days, so I mean, it's called
Yeah,
Test for that reason. So I think a
exactly,
lot of
exactly.
combinations
Yeah, I mean,
there into that.
with respect to the substitute part, Bumrah is a classic example. Everybody knows about his injury. Everybody knows that he's going to be bowling X number of overs. So if you had this kind of a substitute there, it wouldn't
Hmm.
have been surprising that Bumrah would have said, "Oh, you know what? I'm tired. I can't bowl. I'm going out." We get Kuldeep Yadav. He picks up 6 wickets, changes the game completely.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, yeah,
something
and that
similar the other way around, like with Ben
correct.
Stokes probably. Ben Stokes comes back, he says, "Oh, I'm injured, my shoulder is hurting, I go out, I get in an extra bowler." That changes the game entirely. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's going to be very tricky with this injury substitute thing. So I think it's best avoided.
Yeah, I agree because I mean it's
Yeah,
difficult to
and
get that.
I have a question. I have a question. Like now, for Pant being officially, he's officially ruled out, right, of
Yeah,
Yes,
the series.
yeah.
So there is a like for like substitute in a guy called
Jagdishan.
Jagdishan or someone, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
wasn't
could we
Ishan
have
Kishan
picked
being
some?
considered?
No,
Pardon?
no, but could we have picked
No, no,
another
Jagdishan has been called
another
in as a
player at?
replacement.
Oh, I thought Ishan Kishan was being considered.
He
No,
was, but I think
is it necessary that we should have a like for like replacement? I'm asking you guys. Like we have KL Rahul,
so I
we
was
have
actually
Jurel,
getting
right?
to I was getting to that point also in terms of it's I think it's
Hmm.
very difficult to manage a like for like replacement over
Mm,
5 days for 11 players. Like fine, you have a set of 5 batsmen and you have say 2 batsmen as subs for them, in case of any major injury or something. Like the concussion sub is there, right? So you get a like for like
correct.
replacement for the concussion sub, and you have the same way for the bowling unit. But I think
Hmm.
to concur with what Samir said, if a Bumrah gets injured and you are ruling him out of the match for the second innings, you will not have a like for like replacement for Bumrah just
Mm,
because of the impact also. In terms of IPL versus Test cricket or T20 versus Test cricket, when you say that in T20 you have a like for like replacement, I guess it's also
mm,
because in 4 overs, it's the impact that a bowler has in 4 overs is
mm,
limited
mm.
versus an impact a bowler can have in a Test match over say 20 overs that he bowls with the new ball versus with the old ball. I mean, in
Yeah,
theory,
yeah.
yes, probably you can, but practically, I think it's very difficult to manage because then there are going to be a lot of questions over the like for like replacement.
So I think what Chinmay was trying to say was that since we already have KL Rahul and Dhruv Jurel, do we have to get in a keeper, or would it have been possible to get a batsman or a bowler? But I think as per the team composition that you have to submit and take, you need a keeper replacing a keeper, because I think
Hmm.
you need to have a set number of keepers, set number of bowlers, and set number of batsmen that you can carry on an overseas tour. So I doubt whether even the rules would maybe probably allow. I'm not sure about the rule, but I'm just thinking that this may be the scenario where, because the keeper is injured, you have to call in for a proper specialized keeper, because eventually wicket keeping is a specialized job. So I think that is why probably
Yeah,
Pant is
yeah. I mean,
once being ruled out, you have a like for like replacement that has to be there in the
hmm.
team.
Yeah. I think more than the rules, I think it's more about the squad composition because say in this
Correct.
test, Jurel gets injured. Unfortunately, Touchwood he
Mm.
doesn't, but say he gets. I mean, they would rather have a keeper doing keeping for the rest of the test match than KL Rahul doing those duties because, I mean, it's England, the ball is swinging, there are so many other factors. So
Yeah,
maybe that's
yeah,
the reason why they have like a proper keeper in their reserves. But I'm sure Jurel will be the first choice to play the match.
yeah. 100%. Because anyway,
I think the rules suggest that there should be a like for like replacement. I think so.
Oh,
Otherwise,
okay.
we could have just bolstered our bowling,
mm,
because that's the weak
Hmm.
point. Jurel
Yeah,
could have
could be,
kept.
could
If
be.
something happens to Jurel, KL could have kept, and then we would have gotten a new bowler.
Okay. Yeah, could
I
be
doubt
also
who would
that.
have got, because all our good bowlers are already injured. So I don't
Yeah,
know much about that. That's
Yeah, I
also
don't know.
have
I
been
don't know
an
what happened to
unfortunate part.
Mukesh. I don't know if he's also injured.
Yeah,
Mukesh.
So I was surprised he was not in the squad as well because he's a pretty steady
exactly.
customer. He would be pretty useful
Yeah.
in those conditions, but probably
Yeah, I was
injured
even
as well.
surprised they didn't include or they don't even consider Bhuvaneshwar Kumar anymore. He had a decent IPL outing. He has been great in
Yeah.
England, and surprising inclusion was also Anshul, because I think they had initially taken Harshit Rana, who they sent back, and then they suddenly pick Anshul Kamboj out of the blue, which also
Yeah.
probably doesn't make sense. Then why not pick him in the first place in place of Harshit Rana? You picked up Harshit Rana, I think it was probably a cover for Bumrah, and then you sent him
Hmm.
back home. And then instead of calling him back, you send in Anshul Kamboj. So I don't know how this works or who is the brain behind this, but this is also something which didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I think Anshul, I think probably his Duleep Trophy performances sort of made it a selection, like a probable for the selectors to look at him, or probably the coaching staff out in England to look at him. But yeah, there is a good case to take a Bhuvaneshwar Kumar to add to that experience in the bowling lineup as well. So, and I mean, we are seeing
But
it now
guys,
because we are really short on resources.
what do you
Both us
think
and
will be the bowling combination for the last test? I mean, what is the status of Arshdeep and Akashdeep?
so
Like,
apparently
I don't know.
Arshdeep could be playing. I mean, he was asked to rest because he got injured while in practice he had a knock on his arm, his
Yeah,
hand or something. So, but like, yeah, I mean, both India and England actually have that problem now because in India, I mean, Siraj has played all four test matches, so I'm sure his
Hmm.
body is like,
yeah.
really fatigued. Bumrah, they have already said that he'll be playing only three, so I don't
Hmm.
know if he's going to be there. Same with England because all their three fast bowlers, Cars, Boaks, both of them have played all test matches. Stokes also, and Stokes is already like he is injured. So I think both teams have
Yeah, yeah.
a lot to really, like work on in 5 days. I think India will hope that Arshdeep is, fit enough to play, and Akashdeep too because he had a groin injury. So I hope that in 10 days that has sort of been taken care of because I think if Akashdeep is there and Arshdeep will, add that different left-handed,
Hmm.
option to our bowling attack.
But
Um,
I doubt they'll play anyone. They'll bring in Prasidh because he's already played a few. So I think he's just going to walk in because
I really hope they bring
And get
Kuldeep in.
hammered.
yeah, I know.
No, I really hope they bring in Kuldeep. Somehow find a way to fit him in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
Because
yeah.
now
mean,
with
it,
Washington's
It would be
100, it's
great to
very
see Kuldeep.
difficult for
Yeah.
Kuldeep to walk in the team. And
no, I mean, you a wrist spinner is known to be an attacking option and a wicket taking option always. So I do
yeah,
not understand why Shardul Thakur was being played in place of Kuldeep, because eventually, they say that bowlers are the ones who are going to win you test matches, because if you don't take 20 wickets, it doesn't matter if you score 600 or 700 runs, but if you can't get the opposition out twice, then there's no point of scoring those 700 runs. So why bring in Shardul Thakur when you have somebody like Kuldeep who's been playing brilliantly,
yeah,
is in top notch form, and then you are just taking him along as a tourist? It just doesn't make sense. And you are saying Washington as an all-rounder, then it also doesn't make sense when you bring him on the 60th over to bowl. I mean, what is the thought process there? It just doesn't make sense. So I think both the coach and the captain need to really sit down, note these points, and do a thorough research or a thorough team meeting with respect to what has gone wrong, and make sure that they get the team composition right for Oval and go ahead and win it, because this is a great chance. This
yeah,
will also make an impact on the WTC standing.
yeah. I think they
Yeah,
have
but
to
the
find
main
a way to
point
win.
is, I think, yeah, and the bowling attack should be, the best out of the five test matches that we're playing. This should be the best bowling attack, actually. So Bumrah has to play. There's no workload management thing uh, should be involved, I think. So Bumrah has to play. Uh, I don't know. Prasidh, if Prasidh comes, he's going to leak runs again. That's what I feel. So we have only Prasidh, right? Who
No,
who
I mean
who
we
is
have
fit?
Akashdeep and Arshdeep
Arshdeep.
who hopefully if they are not, I mean if they are fit enough, then I think Akashdeep definitely will walk in if he's fit.
If he's fit, yeah, he'll probably walk in. But I think Arshdeep has probably
Akashdeep
been
is
ruled
not
out
fit.
of the Test
Yeah.
series.
No,
Arshdeep
both
or
of them are
Akashdeep,
not
one
ruled
of
out.
them.
I don't think both of them
Acha,
are ruled
okay.
out because we just got in Kamboj only for I think yeah, actually we got in Kamboj for Akashdeep, so probably Akashdeep is ruled out.
One of them is ruled out for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
probably Akashdeep is ruled out because we got in Akashdeep for I'm sorry, Kamboj for Akashdeep.
Mm-hmm.
So then I mean all hopes on Arshdeep.
Yeah.
And I mean, you don't know because, say, I mean, London has been quite hot. You know, they've had a very hot summer. So
Yeah, yeah.
it could be a very, placid, dryish wicket. So Kuldeep, then could make a difference because anyway, till Washington, you have like a batting lineup. I mean, Washington is now a recognized batsman and also wicket taker, but then you're playing him more as a batsman. So just go in with four
Mm,
bowlers and, uh, like you said, 20 wickets is what you need in the end.
exactly,
So
exactly.
like a bowler is going to bolster that more than uh, an all-rounder who you may or may not bowl in the test match.
Interesting to note also the kind of pitches that England has dished out. Huh? There haven't been too many spicy wickets.
Yeah,
They've been fairly flat with not much movement.
I
Even
think
in.
it's got to do a lot with the way they play because I mean,
Mm,
and they prefer chasing, right? So probably they want the
Hmm.
wicket to stay true till the fifth day. So
mm,
even a target like 350, like we saw uh,
yeah,
at Headingley, it doesn't really.
bother them.
Matter so much,
Mm,
bother them so much because
Hmm.
they know that if the pitch is true, that batsmen are capable of just going through and scoring those runs.
yeah, yeah.
So maybe that's one reason why we've not had really spicy wickets. Maybe the other reason is also summer has been quite hot, so they've not had enough. I mean, having said that, there have been spicy wickets in the county. I mean, there were some videos that had come in, so maybe it's not just weather. Could coming back to another topic, Joe Root, he's now the second most run getter in Test cricket, and arguably I think this generation's best red ball batsman.
Yeah,
What do you think? Will he
absolutely.
catch up to Sachin?
Ooh,
I think so. I think so.
that's a tough one because again, I think unfortunately age is not probably on his side. He's also what 35, 36.
He's
He's
34.
34. Age
Oh, he's
is on his
34.
side.
Yeah, age is
He's
on
That's
his
what.
side. Yeah,
34. Okay, he's 34, and he needs another 2,000 runs, I think.
2,500. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So it's going to be a close one then.
yeah. I was actually doing the
And
math.
in
I
such
mean,
an unassuming way, he has come to that number.
Exactly,
Slowly,
absolutely, absolutely.
without being so much in the limelight. I mean, once upon a time, there were the modern greats, no? Kohli, Root, Williamson, and Smith, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Out of these four, I think Kohli and Smith were grabbing the headlines always. And this
yeah.
guy was just scoring runs in the background.
That's a very valid point you make, Chinmay. In fact, I was just going to say the same thing that he's just quietly creeped up without any
yeah,
hurrah anywhere. Just went on scoring runs, hundreds at will, and great, great batsman, no doubt about it. I think one of the finest England has seen after probably Peterson.
yeah. I think that he even beats
He's got
Peterson from.
what, 38 or 39 hundreds now, right? 38 hundreds, I think.
38 hundreds, 38.
Yes.
So 51 is still far away, but 15,000 doesn't look too far away. The way he's batting and the form he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I was doing some math because I think England plays 16 more tests in this WTC, 16 or 15 more tests in this cycle. And
Mm-hmm.
then after the final in 27, they also have an Ashes at home. So in
Hmm.
all likelihood, I think Root will probably play in the Ashes if he's already 36 and a half. Maybe that will be like his one song. So, those number of matches, I think he needs to score somewhere at an average of around 75 to 80. But
Hmm.
he's already scored at that rate in the last 2 years. So, the rate at which he's scoring, he's on track to meet Sachin at least. I mean, and then probably beat him. But I think the Australia Ashes will be a litmus test for him because, uh, I mean, the Aussies will be really,
Yeah.
fired
Yeah,
up. So,
he's got quite a few quality bowlers to face with
hmm.
Ashes coming up, and then I think even New Zealand they'll play. South Africa also has some good bowlers, so yeah, it's going to be a challenge for him. But yeah, I mean, the die-hard Indian fan hopes he doesn't do it, but the cricket enthusiast would definitely like some achieving the feat of the great little man that we had.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is. I mean, I read a piece where like the legacy of Sachin is such that you have a Virat who once was a like of the part of the Fab Four in Tests, and now is closest to him in ODIs, but still very far away. And you have a Root who's now close to him in Test cricket, but in at both ends you have Sachin who's on top. So I mean, the
I know.
consistency that that man had over both formats is something that was
Yeah.
like really unbelievable. I mean, and today you really realize it more. His contemporaries and the players playing today, and the gaps that are there on both ends, and there's just
Hmm.
one man on top.
Yeah, in fact, I don't know if you guys watched that podcast where it is Alistair Cook, David Lloyd, Ravi
Mm-hmm.
Shastri
Yeah.
at times.
I had
They
watched
have
one.
these amazing conversations, and I think
Yeah.
Shastri was asked to name top five batsmen where he had Tendulkar in it, and then he was said who you'll name number one, and he just without any hesitation said Tendulkar, and he made valid points. For 24 years to have that kind of consistency without changing much of his technique, without changing much of his style, and the kind of expectations people had from him. It's like every time he came to bat, it has to be 100. Even if he scores a
Yeah.
50, it was like, hey, Tendulkar आज काही खेळा नाही. So to have that for 24 years and to perform, uh, it's just outstanding. I mean, it's unimaginable, and yeah. So I think that's what set him apart from most of the greats that were there with him. I mean, you talk about Lara, who was there when he was around. But this guy was on a different level, I think.
Yeah, yeah, truly, truly. I mean, so if I have to just ask you a question, I mean, just as just to pick one, because you said that Ravi Shastri was asked to pick five.
Hmm.
Uh, Say both of you have to pick one complete Test match player, like say maybe from the 90s, because we haven't seen Test cricket before that. We've just heard and seen
Yeah.
highlights, but
Hmm.
say from the 90s to today, if you have to pick one complete Test player, who would it be?
Across all teams that we had.
Yeah, yeah, across all teams, across all teams.
Whew, oh, that's going to be a tough one.
Huh.
If it's going to be one, then the first name that came to my mind when you were just asking this question, I'll go with that. It's Rahul Dravid for me.
Okay, and why?
Hmm.
And this is purely based on the test game. Uh, I think that his record in test speaks. That guy performed. He was always, overshadowed by the likes of maybe Tendulkar, Ganguly, Lakshman. I mean, everybody talks about the great 281, but nobody really talks of Dravid in the same breath, which I think he truly deserves, because Lakshman couldn't have scored 281 if Dravid was not there at the other end. Same happened in a lot of one day knocks as well. Everybody talks about the 183 from Ganguly against Sri Lanka, but nobody talks about the 140 odd that Dravid scored uh, with Ganguly against Sri Lanka. Same with New Zealand. Tendulkar got, I think, 180 plus, but nobody really remembers 150 scored by Dravid. He has had some outstanding innings for India, especially in Australia, in Adelaide, where he single-handedly won us that Test match. Scored a double century in the
Yeah.
first innings, then a 70 not out in the second. His technique, his patience, his grit, his determination, I think all of this makes me pick Rahul Dravid, even ahead
Okay.
a
I think
small.
great choice.
Uh,
Yeah. Though great choice. I mean, the perfect number three in a way. So,
yeah.
what about you,
Yeah.
Chinmay?
To be honest, I think I like Rahul is my favorite player. He has always been my favorite player. So I was going to pick him only. But just to pick someone else, I think I liked Andrew Flintoff.
Okay.
Just
Interesting.
the impact that he had over the 4 5 years, especially the 2005 Ashes. Those highlights I see even sometime right now. The over that he bowled to Ricky Ponting,
Oh yeah.
that was superb. And just I mean, just he changed. I think the way maybe matches were played. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's true, but that's what I feel. Just the aggressiveness maybe which was lacking earlier.
Mm.
Maybe he brought in that, and then maybe the game changed. So I think Andrew Flintoff for me. I mean Rahul Dravid obviously that is the number one choice, but second if I want to choose, I'll choose Andrew Flintoff.
Yeah. I mean, he had a phenomenal 2005 Ashes, I think, and that sort of just changed the way the Ashes, was
Mm, yeah.
played after that. I mean, then Australia sort of saw England really, as a force to reckon with. So, yeah, I think he had a big impact in terms of how England also approached Test cricket uh, in that era. And now you have Stokes and McCullum and Bazball.
Mm, yeah.
Uh, so if I had to pick one, I think I would pick Kalis.
He
Uh,
was my next one actually.
yeah,
Wow,
I
Another
mean, just
great, another
I
great
mean,
guy.
I think he scored 12,000, 11,000, 12,000
mind-blowing
runs
numbers.
and 400 plus wickets. I mean, those are phenomenal. Like I don't know.
And he's the
Unfortunate that
second most hundreds, okay, in Test. That's
yes,
also
I
very
Yeah.
think
important.
45.
Just behind, yeah,
Yeah, I
45.
think he has 45 hundreds, and I
Yeah.
mean the runs and the wickets. So I mean that's like you give him the ball, he'll pick your wicket. You give him the bat, he'll score runs for you. That's I mean he's never
And I
looked
think
at
he has an average of 55 or 56. So, batting average.
yeah,
Yeah, and he's also
So,
someone like Joe Root. He just quietly went around his business.
yes,
yeah.
Never really came into the limelight thanks to the Gibbs and the Pollocks and
yeah,
uh, Kirstens. But this guy just kept on scoring at will, picking wickets at will, and a solid guy. Great
solid
cricketer, no
guy. Yeah,
doubt about it.
yeah. I
I
mean,
think
and I think
probably for me, one of the best all-rounders of the 90s, probably.
definitely, yeah. I mean,
Rounder of the, I think he was the best all-rounder of the game. I think, especially in Test, purely based on his impact and his numbers. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with you. Jack Kallis is a great choice.
I think he was just unfortunate to be a part of the South African team in an era where Australia was really dominant in the game. And
Who
maybe
Callis?
Yeah, Callis. So, I mean, though South Africa was always number two, they probably
Mm-hmm.
didn't have that push to number one because Australia was just so dominant.
Yeah, yeah, very true.
So, I mean, just because we are picking players, pick one batsman and one bowler. Because now, sort of, I think batsman for Samir is already done,
Yeah.
but then still. So, if you had to pick a bowler, who would it be?
If I had to pick a bowler, who would it be? Ah, for me, I think this one probably for me it'd be easy. It'll be Glenn McGrath.
Nice.
That guy was amazing.
I think for me, there are two bowlers. One is Wasim Akram, and the other is Dale Steyn.
Ooh,
Oh, Dale Steyn is a nice pick.
Wasim Akram purely because of his magic with the ball, in swings, out swings, whatever, reverse swings, whatever you name it, he had it. And Dale Steyn, I think, because of I think aggression. Aggression is a important part in the game. I think you need to intimidate the batsman. You need to have an aura or a presence. So I think Dale Steyn had that, and plus, I mean, he took more than 400 wickets, I think, in
Yeah.
Test. So he's
yeah,
one of the best bowlers also.
I also,
yeah.
if I have to pick another one, then I'll probably also pick Shane Bond. Uh, he
Ooh,
was also
yeah.
an amazing bowler. Unfortunate that his career was shortened due to a injury, but
Hmm.
boss when he bowled, oh, he was lightning quick.
So coming back to the test match,
Hmm.
uh, and the rearguard action showed by Jadeja and Washington yesterday after lunch. Would you rate it as like was it one of the best that India's seen because it was probably in the top four as per the stats for sure in terms of
Hmm.
ball
Hmm.
spent.
Hmm.
But does it also come close to the Vihari Ashwin rearguard, or is this one notch better?
Oh, this is going to be a tough one to say which one was better because I think both innings were equally important. Very gritty from Bihari and Ashwin, especially the way Bihari played with a injured hamstring, I think. So I think again it's going to be very difficult because the conditions are different, the team was different. And also, I would like to thank Joe Root for dropping Jadeja on the first ball.
Yeah.
So that also was a huge
Yeah.
impact. Which could have changed the match completely.
Yes.
And I think probably Ben Stokes must have seen the replay, which is why he felt even more frustrated and went ahead and wanted to finish off the match. But I think, yeah, I wouldn't really compare, but hats off to the way these guys batted, the patience they showed, because I'm sure batting at 6 and 7 to bat out 200 odd balls is not something that will come easily, especially with both being very attacking players. So to
The I think the pitch, Sydney pitch was spicier than this one, if I am not mistaken. It was moving around, I think. So I think I would rate Hanuma's innings, especially one of the best rear guard action that we have seen. Because this pitch was pretty flat, mm, nothing was happening for the bowlers, but still to like grit it out. Uh, I think fourth afternoon, like post lunch, and fifth day post lunch, no wickets fell.
yeah,
We were 2 wickets down for not, I think, right? For zero. First over
yeah.
itself, and the next fifth day also, first before lunch, we were already like 4 down. So a lot of batting that these two have done, Jadeja and Ashwin, Jadeja and Washi.
Yeah.
So I think the Sydney one will trump this inning for me.
I think one more important point probably we can consider here is the kind of setup laid by Rahul and Gill, because that was also very crucial, to make sure that there were no further debacles and wickets going down in a what do you say, cluster, because that was very very crucial. I mean, hats off to Gill also leading from the front, captain playing a captain's knock, making sure that everybody in the dressing room settles down, takes away all their pressure. And also Rahul, I think he's been a revelation in this particular series. 500 plus runs is not a joke.
Yeah.
So I think we should probably acknowledge their efforts as well, along with Jaddu and Washi.
Yeah, true. And I think another key factor that most people are missing, and especially when they have been criticizing Indian bowling, is that even in the 140 overs that England bowled in the last innings of this test, we lost 2 wickets, they also could not pick wickets. Over
Mm-hmm.
I think they picked only two, right? So, I mean, it just goes to show a measure of the trueness in the wicket in the end, even though there was some up and down bounce. That both teams could score more as the game progressed, rather than the pitch deteriorating. So, like what Sam I think mentioned at the start of the podcast itself, that the
Yeah.
pitches are really surprising everybody, and
Mm-hmm.
I think like both bowling attacks, there is a limit to beyond which you can sort of criticize them or hold them accountable, because if the wickets are so true, once you are set, it's going to be really difficult to knock you out.
So in fact, after
Yeah, and apparently
Chinmay
this
mentioned
pitch
about.
was like laid out in a perpendicular manner. I think this was the whole pitch was completely changed for
Mm-hmm.
this test match in Manchester.
No,
The
that
length
is
of
a
the pitch,
thing that has happened in Manchester. I mean, they sort of modified the pitch a few decades ago, probably not just years ago,
few decades
and that
ago.
was like,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, and I think that was more to do with the direction in which the pitch was because of the sunlight. Uh,
Mm.
and while playing when the pitch was in its old direction, or the old way it was laid, I think the sun would also trouble the batsman, and maybe that was one
but
of the key reasons.
apparently after that was laid, it became a batting pitch or something like that. That's what I
Yeah, I
read
think
somewhere.
Atherton was also speaking about this, that I think somebody asked Atherton that what do you think
Hmm.
about the pitch, has it changed
Yeah.
over a period of time? And I think he also mentioned the same thing that Nandan was talking about, and even Chinmay said that they've changed the direction of the pitch. Uh,
Yeah, probably. And Yogesh had mentioned in the last podcast that Manchester prefers blue nowadays. So, so Manchester preferred both the blue teams in the end to the match just to be a draw.
I was just saying that once Chinmay mentioned about Vihari and Ashwin's being a notch higher, I kind of agree because then it also reminded me that I think those guys played a far better quality attack than
Yes,
what probably England has currently. Having Nathan Lyon,
Yeah,
Pat Cummins, Mitchell Stark, even this guy, the RCB bowler, I forgot his name. Hazelwood. He was also, I think,
Hazelwood. Yes.
there. So, yeah, I think Chinmay makes a valid point of that innings probably being a notch higher, simply because of the quality of bowling that they had to face.
Yeah, and also the the sort of the situation in the series. India were 36 all out at Adelaide,
Mm,
then we
yeah.
won at Melbourne,
yeah.
then Sydney. We were really staring down the barrel, and then going to Gabba and then winning. I think sort of put the icing on the cake in a way. So
I think this rearguard action will definitely change the momentum of the series for sure. So going into Oval, I think England's going to be in a lot more pressure situation than what probably India is, because
yeah,
they'll be looking forward.
Yeah,
In fact, they had been labelled by quite a few experts as well that they should be winning this at least 3-1. So they'll be under a lot of pressure. So I think it augurs
yeah,
well for India the way they fought it out in this particular match.
yeah. I think the only thing India needs to really improve is, not lose a wicket at the towards the end of any session, because that's
Absolutely.
where really we've lost, even at Leeds or even at Lords.
Mm.
Those crucial moments was where we lost wickets or collapses or even dropped some catches, and though we sort of played equal or even probably better than England at times, we are
Mm.
trailing the series because of those key moments. And I think this test probably was one of those turning hopes that we have latched on to those key moments here, and
Mm. Yeah.
that momentum. And also, I think the last 15 minutes of this test match have really rubbed the salt for the English.
Completely. Completely. Yeah, I don't
yeah, and
understand what unsporting and uncharacteristics or ungentleman stuff they're talking about when they themselves came 90 seconds late. at Lord. So that is not
Yeah.
unsporting. But this is unsporting. I mean, what rubbish, man. Typical Brits, crybabies.
Just 3 more days for the next test. So they're
31st,
going to
right?
be
Yeah,
physically and
31st.
mentally down. I think because uh, they've been on the field. I think our bowlers have had rest for 2 days now. So they'll
Yes.
get rest for 6 days.
Yeah,
So that's the best
correct.
part.
Yeah.
All that workload thing will not come in between, I think.
I think Chinmay
Hopefully
really
it
wants
doesn't.
Bumrah to come in and play without any workload issues.
No,
Yeah.
and he makes a valid point, because finally you're playing for India, man. Come on. So
Correct.
you're either playing when you're 100% fit or you're not playing. And you
Yeah.
can't have, just because he's Jasprit Bumrah, you cannot make exceptions, because this will really come and bite you in the back, because then eventually you'll probably have a Shubman Gill doing the same thing. You
Correct.
don't know, because so I don't think this is the right example being
Attitude.
set. Attitude, yes, and Gambhir is surprising. He's backing this, who's otherwise a very blunt person. So that is
Hmm.
also something which
Yeah.
is surprising, that somebody like Gambhir, who's otherwise very blunt, upfront, speaks lot about character, supporting this. So yeah, I mean, I don't think this is something that should be talked about much, or even pushed further. Just make this a one-off case, forget about it, and make sure something like this doesn't.
Saw some numbers as well that in the last 2 or even more than that, I think maybe last 4 years since 2021, Siraj has really had the most workload among all bowlers across formats because
Yeah.
he's playing tests all the tests. He's also part of the white ball cricket squad. So he's playing on an approach. He's definitely playing the IPL. So there is too much of, like Chinmay said, too much of focus on Bumrah when Siraj has also, or probably Siraj has bowled more overs than Bumrah in the last 4 overs. And personally, I would rather have Bumrah playing the oval than playing the Asia Cup in September. So
100%, 100%. Absolutely. In fact, I think BCCI should not even consider tournaments like Asia Cup with the current
The
lot.
main
They should
team.
probably
Yeah.
look at breeding younger players, give them the experience, because
yeah,
these tournaments for me somewhere are kind of insignificant if you want to look at the bigger picture, which is the World Cup coming up in 2028, I think. 27, sorry.
yeah, and I think this Asia Cup is a T20 tournament. If I'm not wrong, I'm not sure. Maybe it's not, but I think it's like a prelude to the T20
World
World
Cup.
Cup in Sri Lanka next year.
Hmm.
So I don't think these guys would anyway play. So like you have a
No, but
different spot for
there
them.
are enough bilateral T20 series, I'm sure, which we are going to be playing. So rather than playing your entire T20 squad right now, this is a great opportunity to try out youngsters. Maybe the young guy from Rajasthan Royals, Vaibhav, right? Maybe you could take him if
Suryavanshi,
Suryavanshi,
you,
yeah.
yeah, you could take the Chennai opener, Ajay, I think, Matre.
Ayush Matre, yeah. Both of them
Ayush
are
Matre.
already playing in England under 19 and playing phenomenally. So
Exactly. So, such tournaments, you should give these guys a chance. So that is where you'll also expose them, give them the experience that you keep talking about. Otherwise, yeah, they know they don't have experience. So if you don't give them the chance, they won't get the experience. It hardly matters whether you win the Asia Cup or you don't win the Asia Cup, but it will definitely matter if you win the World Cup or you don't win the World Cup. And I think that is why Australia has six whereas we
yeah,
have two, and that two after one, and then the other one we won after 18 years. So it's high time, we start thinking ahead, and breed youngsters at the right moment, give them opportunities in such tournaments so that you have a solid bench strength coming up. You recognize the right talent, and I think that's the way you are going to get six World Cups. Otherwise, you'll have to wait another
yeah,
18 years.
yeah. Fair point. Fair point. So just coming to the last bit of the podcast, and I would like to get in your predictions for Oval and also players to watch out for. Probably two from India and two from England that you feel will uh, perform well at the Oval and could, be significant enough to turn the game in either team's favor. So, Samir, first with you, and then Chinmay. Whom would you? What is your prediction first, and then two players that you would pick?
I think I will say India will probably win this test match. I feel it's going to be another long, hard-fought 5 days. I don't see this test match finishing before 5 days, so I'll go with India simply because of the momentum we have, especially after the heroics from the last test. With respect to players to watch out for from England, I think somewhere I feel Ollie Pope has not really performed to his potential, and he's a classic batsman. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, he reminds me a lot of Ian Bell, the way he takes a stance and the way he appears does resemble a
Yeah,
lot of Ian Bell, who was also an amazing player. So I think Ollie Pope for me, with respect to batting, and in the on the bowling front, maybe Vokes or Archer probably could make a impact at Oval. And from Team India, I think I would have said Pant, but Pant is not going to be there, unfortunately. Uh, Maybe Sai. I'm really looking forward for Sai doing well because he has the technique. Yes, there is a small chink which a lot of people have been talking about, where his head
mm.
is falling a lot more to the offside. But I think he's
Yeah,
a super talent. Has the right technique, has the right temperament. So I'm really looking forward for Sai doing well at the Oval. So I hope they give him another chance. And I really, really hope Kuldeep plays. And I'm sure
yeah.
if he plays, he's going to, make England give a lot of trouble to England batsmen.
What about you, Chinmay?
Yeah, for me, India is going to win the match. The momentum is with us, so I think we're going to beat England convincingly. And on the batting, on the Indian side, our batting has been pretty phenomenal. So any one of our batsmen will perform, I think. But especially, I think Kuldeep, if he gets selected, and Bumrah. These are the two bowlers who will make the most impact. That's what I feel. That's my prediction. And the England side, I think they are physically exhausted. I think just looking at Stokes, I feel that the whole bowling attack is really exhausted. So I think Harry Brook might
Mm-hmm.
be might come in good. That's about it. I think in the England side.
Okay,
What's your
okay.
take, Nandan? Who do you think?
So I think the two players who I predict could make a difference. I think from the England side, one is Zach Crawley because he's been giving them really good starts, and if he does that again in either or both of the innings, that could really make the difference. And in terms of bowling, I'm going with this because they have selected Overton and India is known to be uncomfortable facing him. So if he really does come good, then that could sway the match in favor of. And from India's side, I think bowling wise, you all agree that Kuldeep could be the game changer, and he
Mm,
should be a part of the squad. And whereas when it comes to batting, I think SSV is due good knock. So he's a first innings player, so I hope that he really scores big, so that and he has a good record against England. So it's sort of after the first match he's really tapered off. So I really hope he comes good again and makes that difference. So it could be either of the openers. I think Crawley on the England side or SSB on the Indian side who could really make or break the game.
And I hope that he catches all the catches coming his way.
I think they
Maybe
moved him
dives
to
a
gully
lot
for that
and
reason.
takes
So
exceptional catches.
I also hope they play Kuldeep and they don't, and hopefully they don't get him in the 50th or the 60th over.
no, I hope so too. I mean, if they play Kuldeep, he has to come in, probably one change. Just like roll the dice and get him in, and
Hmm.
sort of tempt the English openers to go after him because being a spinner, he's going to flight the ball up and lure them. So Duckett is known to sweep and reverse sweep his way out of trouble very effectively. So uh, could be something that would sort of just roll the dice on. And yeah, but Kuldeep has to play it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty easy swap, honestly. You just bring Kuldeep in place of Shardul. I don't really see
Yeah,
Shardul Thakur of nearby to Kuldeep Yadav's skill set and quality. And you play to your strengths. You know you have a great spinner in you. Just because you're playing in England doesn't mean you have to play a seam bowler. You just have to
correct.
trust your bowler. You have to trust his skill set. And I'm sure Kuldeep will, and he would have done wonders. But I'm sure he'll do wonders at all also once he gets the chance to play.
Yes, yes. I really hope they do play him. Yeah.
But what is the prediction of the pitch? What is the pitch
I
like?
think it will be a. I mean, they're going to make a flat wicket, so
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
see
see it
much.
being spicy.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be much in the pitch.
But I think because the pitch will be, if it is flat and considering that it will be flat, uh, more of a case that Kuldeep plays because with his guile and both ball turning both ways, he
Exactly.
really might not need the pitch to pick wickets because it's going to be in the end the way he bowls yours so that's as a batsman. So I mean that will be India's best chance to put the pressure back on England. And if the English are going to bash ball, then fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I also hope Shubman loses the toss again because Ben Stokes is doing a great job for him.
I
So
mean,
I
I think
really
that
hope he
I don't
doesn't
know if
win the
that's a
toss.
record or something, but India has lost 14 tosses in a row. I guess that is some record because
Yeah, I think I saw the one post on Instagram saying what are the chances of India losing 14 tosses in a row, and it was like 1 to 14 odd thousand something like that. That's pretty crazy.
yeah, I think someone asked
And,
Shubman in the press conference that or in the post match uh, that are you going to change your call to tails now? And Shubman is like, I'll just go with what I think is right at that moment. I think he prefers losing the toss, so that there's no pressure of deciding what to do.
yeah, exactly. In fact, almost all the, or rather all the test matches, we've come very close. We've come very close to winning almost all, except for some of the key moments. And I think the toss also was a pretty important factor because I think one of the matches was it Leeds. I think Shubman said if he would have won, he would have bowled as well, which probably would have. I don't know. I don't think we had the bowlers then where we could have gone ahead and done some damage to the English team. So I think yeah, it's good he's losing tosses and Ben Stokes is making it easy for him.
Yeah, but I think in at Oval, if England win the toss, I think they will choose to chase. That's what I feel.
It'll be interesting to see because they would,
I mean, that's
yeah,
my
like Chinmay said,
kind of
the bowlers are
prediction.
tired. You never know. He
Yeah,
might just bat first.
could be. We've moved on from that topic, but what you mentioned about Ben Stokes really getting hired up after Jadeja refused to shake hands and he offered the draw. If I was England, actually, I would be, I would not be offering the draw because there were still 15 odd overs left, and India was probably what 70 runs ahead at that moment, 70 or 80 runs ahead at that moment. So you had still, you get one of these two out, and you're into the tail. You're not sure whether English will to bat or not. So there is still that chance, that you have to chase maybe some 100 or in 10 overs. And I mean, England, for all probability, could have even gone for it. So I think, I mean, that was my take on, the entire episode as well. That if I was in England's place, I would still, let them bat and, yeah, fine. Once they cross their 100, it's eventually
Hmm.
going to be probably 10 overs left and
Hmm.
fine, it's not going to change the result. But at that moment, with 1 hour to go, you still probably had some outside chance. So, I mean,
Yeah,
in cricket, you say never, right? So you can lose
exactly.
four wickets, four
No, in
balls.
fact, interestingly, even Ashwin said the same thing because since everybody had a say and was giving out their views on what happened in the last 15 minutes, Ashwin said the exact same thing, especially on the remarks of Zach Crawley, saying if you wanted to get your 100, you should have batted faster. True. So Ashwin said the same thing, we never asked you to bowl Brooks. You should have gotten Archer, you should have gotten Karch, you should have tried to knock them over. And like you pointed out rightly, with India only 70 runs ahead, you probably had a chance to win. But you didn't want to do that. So
Correct.
bad luck to you. Those guys deserve the
Yeah.
100 and they did exactly that. In fact, Ashwin said, I wouldn't have even declared
Yeah.
after my 100. I would have made them
Correct.
bowl all
Yeah, yeah,
15
yeah.
overs and kept them out
I
on the field.
actually I loved that. I mean, I was like, just let them play.
And I'm sure even Kohli would have done that, if he was still the captain of Team India. I don't think he would have given them off or let them off that easily. I'm sure he would have made them
Yeah.
stay out till about just 2 or 3 overs are left, and then he would have said, okay, let's go, let's accept a
Yeah,
draw.
probably Kohli probably would have even lured them, with 10 overs and 80 runs to get. You never know.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. The kind of captain
I just
character,
declare at that moment.
yeah, he would have caught them off guard completely.
Yeah. I mean,
I think,
anyway,
but
it's a moral
Stokes
victory.
settled
Then
for
just get
the
those three
draw.
wickets, some three early wickets, and get that moral victory of sorts.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Chinmay was saying something, I think.
Yeah, I mean Stokes settled for a draw, I think, and he just wanted to conserve his bowlers. He didn't want Archer to bowl. I mean, he didn't want Wokes to bowl.
Yeah,
So that's why maybe he was looking for an early exit.
Yeah, I think Nasir Hussain, or I don't know if it was Hussain or Ratan, who said that England probably were really frustrated because when India were 0 for 2, I'm sure they would have dreamt of opening the champagne at lunch on day 5, which did not happen, and and then we just played and played and played. Really, their patience. Finally, they were just frustrated. And, forms being forms, they just thought that they have that high-handedness in them to just uh, sort of walk over us, even though we want to still play.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so great, guys. I think that brings us to the end of the episode. It was great having you on board. Some really good insights, both of you. Some really nice predictions as well. So I hope India listens to us and plays Kuldeep and wins the test match.
Thanks, Nandan. Thanks for having us. I'm sure Chinmay will probably agree that it kind of gave us the feel of having the suit and tie on us and extra innings live kind
I
of a feeling.
Thanks, Nandan. Thanks a
Thanks,
lot.
thanks.
great. Thanks.
Great fun chatting up.
Yes. Thanks. See you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night.